EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just about set for football. Blake Groupie is ready to get us started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
2nd and 5. There again is Cooks, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks from 13 yards out. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now 2nd and 9. To throw, Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll get this complete to the rookie first-round pick. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On play action, here's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Throwing again here, Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Now 2nd and 5. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Throwing is Williams. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Swift again. They'll try again. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. DeAndre Swift taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bears are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
That's a great response here in this 1st quarter. And what I like about it is how they put this drive together. The other guy scored quickly to start the game, but this was smart football to not feel like you have to go out and score quickly yourself. So they worked the ball down the field, took their time, and finished with the touchdown run.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
2nd down and 6 now. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the 1st quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll look to throw again. That is caught. Gets past one man. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on fourth. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Here's Groupie for the PAT. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. Dances by him. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Chicago! DeAndre Swift with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bears are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that's complete to Cooks. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Oh, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball on to punt. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now a 2nd and 10. In motion left goes a tight end. To throw, it's Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw is Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 70 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now they'll fake it there on the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And down to the 41. These two teams all tied after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. From the 41, here's 2nd down and 7. as they've got it as we resume action. Here's Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Komet. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air, Williams. That pass complete to Moore. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Quick slant, caught by Moore. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. From 8 yards out, and the Bears have broken the tie. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. Santos now to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Second down, and it's Kamara again. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking for the out route here, and he's got Cooks. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet, not just straight down, but back because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds.
Got a man, it's Cooks. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints are an extra point away from evening this one up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Complete on the quick throw to Moore. Fights through, and now a crease. Still on his feet. DJ Moore, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 66 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
A 10th carry for Kamara, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. A yard all they need, but it's third down. They'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Cooks. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. Oh, he bowls over him. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this incomplete. Oh, my. He might have been celebrating in the end zone if he'd held on. Nearly picked, but instead, it'll bring up 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half, the same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing. And they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now a 2nd and 2. Throwing again here, Williams. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. That is caught. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. 44 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
2nd and 15. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Bears take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Working out of the gun, Williams. Open man down the field. That's a Dunze. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
A handoff, Swift running to the left, powering forward. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
To throw, it's Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
From the gun, here's Williams. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To the air once more, Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And Kamara's going to have a Saints first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he's going to use his legs here. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down. Well, with him trailing here in the second half, maybe his legs can try to give this offense a spark.
And that's the benefit of having a young quarterback, right? Having a rookie, a guy who will say, hold on a second, I have a little bit of fearlessness to my game. It isn't working as well the other way. Let's see what I can do to help my team this way. And, boy, he did it there.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 69 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Juwan Johnson from 6 yards away. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Williams. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
What a quick start to the drive, but not for the team that really needed it. In only a few seconds, the opposing QB found himself on the turf, and the defense is celebrating second and long.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Back to throw here. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that's going to bring up second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Here's Williams. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Looking to throw is Williams. Again, he finds Moore. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. To throw once more, here's Williams. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Moore, the man in motion. Swift. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rome Odunze from 3 yards out. And the Bears have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd and 5. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
To the air, Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd down and inches. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Chase Young. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
You're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. Here's Swift. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. But not many guys who can blow up plays like Chase Young. He did it again there.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, They've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He lets it go deep for Olave. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 102 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Tackle made by Chase Young.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Throwing is Williams. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try and run here with Swift. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, You never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. And he is going to lose yardage here. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Swift going to try up the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.